Why not you? Why not now? These are the questions that have driven some of the greatest minds and strongest hearts in the history of the world. Yet for most people, these questions are terrifying rather than empowering. We live in a world where doubt is often louder than courage, where hesitation overtakes hope, and where dreams are more often buried than built. But what if you asked yourself, truly and deeply, why not me? Not in arrogance, not in overconfidence, but in the belief that you, just like anyone else, carry within you a purpose, a mission, and a fire that can change everything. Too many people sit on the sidelines of their own lives waiting for permission, waiting for perfection, waiting for some magical moment to start. But that moment never comes, not unless you create it. And the truth is, the world doesn't need another person hiding behind excuses. It needs someone like you to rise up with relentless determination, someone willing to fight for a future they believe in, even when no one else does. We often look at the successful, the influential, the inspiring, and we think they're different, that somehow they were born into greatness or luck or talent we could never touch. But that's a lie we tell ourselves to stay safe. Because if they're just like us, then we have no excuse, and the truth is, they are just like us. They faced fear, rejection, pain, failure, just like you. The difference, they stood up one more time. They dared to try again. They didn't let the voice in their head convince them they weren't enough, and neither should you, because the only thing standing between you and your vision is the belief that you're not ready. But what if readiness isn't the starting point? What if belief is? You see, belief is the spark. It's the moment you realize you don't need to have all the answers to begin. It's the moment you decide that growth matters more than comfort. That progress is more important than perfection. That courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act in spite of it. You were not put on this earth to simply exist. You were born to build something, to create impact, to leave a legacy that says, I showed up and I gave it everything. But first, you have to choose to step forward, not tomorrow, not next week, now. You have to choose to break the silence of self, doubt with the sound of action. You have to believe that greatness is not reserved for the elite few, but available to anyone who's willing to earn it. So let me ask you again, why not you? Why not the person who's been through struggle, who's felt the weight of failure, who's seen the worst of days and still found the strength to hope? Why not the one who's been told no 1,000 times but still dreams in color? Why not the person reading this right now, aching to make their life matter? There is nothing ordinary about your story. There is nothing small about your soul. You've just forgotten how powerful you are. But today, you remember. Today you rise. Today you refuse to let fear write your future. Today you answer the question with action. Today you begin, because the only thing left to ask is, if not you, then who? If not now, then when? Every single day, someone out there makes a decision to change their life. They wake up tired of being tired, tired of waiting, tired of watching others leave the life they silently crave. And instead of waiting one more minute, they take the first step. Not because they have all the resources, not because they feel completely ready, but because they've realized that life doesn't wait. Time doesn't pause for the unsure. Opportunity doesn't knock on closed doors, and the only way forward is through. That's the power of belief. Not belief in some distant destiny, but belief in your ability to shape it. You have something inside you that the world hasn't seen yet, a story no one else can tell, a vision no one else can bring to life, but none of it will matter unless you act, unless you silence the voices that say you're not smart enough, not qualified enough, not strong enough. You are enough, you've always been enough, but belief without action is just hope. It's the action, the effort, the decision to show up even when it's uncomfortable, that transforms your life from a dream into a legacy. It's easy to convince ourselves that the timing isn't right, that next month or next year will be better, but the perfect time is a myth. It's a lie that keeps dreamers dreaming but never doing. If you wait for perfect, you'll be waiting forever. Every person who's ever done something extraordinary started before they felt ready. They began scared, uncertain, unsure, and still moved forward. They didn't need a green light from the world. They gave it to themselves. And you must do the same. You must decide that your future matters more than your fear, that your purpose matters more than other people's opinions, that your voice, your dream, Your vision is worth fighting for even if no one else sees it yet. That's what leaders do. They move before the crowd, they speak before the applause, they commit before the comfort, and they grow through the grit. You're not meant to just survive, clocking in and out of your days like you're waiting for something better to come. You're meant to lead, to build, to blaze a trail that others will follow. But that starts with a choice to believe in something greater than your current circumstances, a choice to fight for your future even when the odds seem against you, a choice to live with urgency instead of excuses. There's someone out there who needs to see you win, who needs to know it's possible. They're watching not your perfection, but your persistence, not your ease, but your endurance. They need to see someone rise, not because everything was perfect, but because they refuse to quit. Be that person. Be the reason someone else says, if they can do it, maybe I can too. This isn't just about you. It's about everyone who will be inspired by your decision to rise. And when you reach the end of your journey, when you look back at the days you nearly gave up, the moments you questioned your worth, the nights filled with doubt, you'll realize that none of it was wasted. Every scar will tell a story of strength. Every failure will echo with resilience. Every step, no matter how uncertain, will be part of the path that proved your power, because you didn't wait. You didn't beg for approval. You didn't surrender to fear. You answered the call with courage. You chose to become the person you were always meant to be. So when the world asks how you did it, you'll smile. Not because it was easy, but because you earned every inch of your transformation. And when someone else hesitates, paralyzed by fear and doubt, you'll be the one to remind them what someone once reminded you. Why not you? Because you dared to believe, to act, and to lead, you gave others the permission to do the same. That is your legacy, that is your power, and that is the difference one decision can make.